Bad weather batters Jamaica. United States courts ruled that Donald Trump does not have presidential immunity, while political violence rears its ugly head in St. Thomas. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A U.S. court has ruled that Donald Trump does not have presidential immunity and can be prosecuted on charges of plotting to overturn the 2020 election. Trump had claimed in a landmark legal case that he was immune from criminal charges for acts he said fell within his duties as president. But yesterday's ruling in Washington, D.C. struck down that claim. And it is a setback for Trump, who has for years cited presidential immunity while battling multiple cases. The former president is expected to appeal against the ruling, meaning that the case could ultimately go to the Supreme Court, where conservatives hold a 6-3 majority. In Jamaica, the Ministry of Tourism has said an assessment is being conducted on damage to infrastructure along coastline areas in northern and western Jamaica. Some coastline areas have been battered due to adverse weather conditions affecting sections of the island, including Negril Westmoreland, Montego Bay in St. James, Ocho in St. Anne, and Oracabessa in St. Mary. And of course, when there is plenty rain and breeze, the light goes out and everywhere is dark like dungeon. Currently, the Met Office says a cold front currently in the island will last until Friday. However, when I checked what they call cold front last night, it was showing 77 degrees, and today, Thursday and Friday, will show a low of 68 and a high of 83 degrees. The opposition People's National Party has filed a complaint with the police high command demanding an investigation into what it alleges are acts of violence and intimidation against its supporters in sections of St. Thomas. In a statement yesterday afternoon, opposition spokesman on national security Peter Bunting said supporters of the PNP have been coming under attack since Sunday in the Trinityville division. Mr. Bunting claimed that party workers were holding a meeting on Sunday when they were allegedly confronted by activists of the Jamaica Labour Party. And he said the viral video showing Dean Jones, the JLP candidate for the Trinityville division, brandishing his licensed firearm during an altercation with a businessman is just the latest in a series of acts of intimidation and violence in that division. Mr. Bunting said the unarmed businessman could have been killed in the incident and has now called for the Morant Bay police to take necessary action. He also urged the police high command to keep the country updated on the investigations. Additionally, Mr. Bunting called for the ruling Jamaica Labour Party to remove Mr. Jones as its candidate pending the outcome of that investigation. But as you know, there are three sides to every story: for me story, for your story, and for them story. So here is one of the other side. The attorney for Mr. Jones, Alexander Shaw, he came in dismissing allegations that his client instigated the violent incident which was captured on CCTV in St. Thomas on Monday. In a statement issued yesterday, Mr. Shaw said his client, while conducting his lawful business, was physically attacked by people unknown to him, causing him to sustain serious injuries and be placed in imminent fear for his life. The statement further said that Mr. Jones, aware of the mounting threat, took defensive action to de-escalate the situation and pull his firearm. Shaw said the incident occurred in Springfield and was reported to the police, adding that the matter should not be politicized. In the short video clip which has now gone viral, Mr. Jones, who was clad in a green shirt, was seen sitting behind the wheel of a white vehicle with a woman in the passenger seat. Mr. Wayne Walker, who operates a business in the area, approached the vehicle clad in a red shirt and engaged Mr. Jones in conversation. Jones then exited the vehicle and both men could be seen engaged in a physical altercation, during which Mr. Jones pulled a firearm from his waistband, pointed it in the direction of Mr. Walker. And it's reported that the incident was triggered by Mr. Walker telling Mr. Jones to remove his vehicle from the front of his business establishment. Now, the footage that I saw shows Mr. Jones exiting his vehicle, throwing fists on the other man. The man then fists him back, and that's when he pulled his gun. The man then turned around and showed surrender by going down on his knees on the ground after the gun was pointed at him, and he was then attacked by another man in green. And footage shows that the PNP member trying to defend himself but was flung to the ground, and a third man joined the fight and started to kick him while he was on the ground. So basically, the lawyer is not telling the truth. The man was soundly beaten up. Go view the footage for yourself, but luckily no one was killed. The body of a man who was reported missing since Monday was found in bushes in the upscale Mandeville community of Ingleside last Wednesday. Relatives identified him as Colin Watts, 52, a land surveyor and resident of Hanbury near Ingleside. His sister Kay Watts said that her brother went missing on Monday after he left home to exercise in the community. She added that her brother was showing signs of depression. and he has been under stress for a little time now, and a part of the reason he went to exercise on Monday morning was to release some of the stress, she said. Meanwhile, a teenager was killed and three other persons, including two students, injured in a gun attack along the Crowder Main Road in Greenchill, Westmoreland on the weekend. The deceased has been identified as 19-year-old Devonte Ziggy Brown, a laborer from the community. The incident happened shortly after 5 p.m. on Sunday. An 80-year-old male student was shot in the neck and is in serious but stable condition at the hospital, while a 13-year-old female student is also said to have been shot in her right middle finger. Reports from the police are that a silver Nissan motorcar drove up to a group of individuals who were gathered in the community. Two men alighted from the back of the vehicle wearing ballistic vests, one of whom was armed with a rifle and the other with a handgun. The men reportedly shouted police and thereafter opened gunfire at the group of persons who scattered in different directions in a bid to escape injuries. When the shooting subsided, it was discovered that Brown, along with the two students and another female, were suffering from gunshot wounds, and the victims were transported to hospital where Brown was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, in another shooting incident, a 17-year-old boy was shot dead along Dilpat Crescent in Kingston 11 yesterday morning. The deceased has been identified as Nebinko Douglas, otherwise called Junior, from Dilpat Crescent. Reports are that about 6:58 a.m., the now deceased was standing along the roadway when a loud explosion sounding like a gunshot was heard. Douglas, the man said, ran to the premises and collapsed. Residents summoned the authorities, who rushed the injured teen to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead. And up to late Tuesday afternoon, no motive has been established for that killing, according to police. On to sports, we're going to deal with some football here. Leaders through Juice FC and Racing United dropped points for the first time this season in the Jamaica Football Federation Championship, snapping their respective 5-game winning streak to start the competition. True Juice, who were beaten 1-0 by Hopewell United, while Racing United were held 1-1 by Portlanders FC at Lynch Park, as the gap between the rest of the field closed to 4 points. Brownstone FC moved into third place on 12 points after a come-from-behind 3-1 win over Petersfield, while Chapelton Maroons and Baptist Alliance are both on 10 points. Chapelton Maroons scored their first ever win over Falkland at any level, winning 2-0 at Turner's Oval as they won for the third time. Gray's Inn, meanwhile, rallied late to beat Baptist Alliance 2-1 at Heart East Community Center, while bottom-place teams Falmouth United and Mid-Forest battled out a 1-1 draw at Elliston Wakeland Center, where 3 players were red-carded close to the end of the game. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.